Okay, hi, it's Darren. We're supposed to be doing our social distancing and working from home and all that kind of stuff. So I figured we all got to take a bit of a break. So I thought I'd bring Charlie for a walk here. So here's Charlie, and take him for a little stroll. And I figured while I was doing that, I'd just talk a little bit about some of the things that are going on, what we're doing as a team, and just a few thoughts from the last, because this has really been, I think for most of us, our first kind of week of really beginning to take this whole Corona thing really seriously, right? So what are you doing, Charlie? Okay, so got to manage him too. So our first full week of really kind of getting our heads around what this whole coronavirus COVID-19 thing is going to mean. So a couple things, quick update on the team. So everybody's working remotely. We've all got remote access. That's actually working. We've actually also installed some new software onto our computers to allow us to communicate more effectively as a team. And we have conference calls every morning. We talk during the day. We're using a new system called Slack, which allows us, it's like a big like text messaging room basically, where we can just keep talking to each other. So we're always updated, which is great. The team's also been assigned a bunch of tasks, so we're still very busy. Andrea and Vicky are working on some webinars that we're going to have every week on different topics. The first one I think is going to be about the new fiscal stimulus packages that are coming out. And we have a whole bunch of other things planned to keep everybody busy while we're all kind of working from home. A couple thoughts. Going to be watching, I've already been watching and listening to a lot of strategists, and everyone's just trying to figure out what this big disruption to our lives, to the markets obviously is going to mean. What do we do about it? What should we do about it? And as that information comes in, it's my job to watch it, so I have to be in front of all that stuff all day. But that also makes me think that one of the challenges for this, for all of us, is going to be just managing our own mental health. I really don't think it's healthy for most people to be watching the news as much as probably people are watching the news. There's clearly lots of things going on, but to be in front of CP24 or BNN or any of those channels all day, probably not too healthy. So look after you, take a walk, don't binge watch Netflix all day, find some things to do. I was talking to a client today and we had an interesting chat about what the conversations with people are going to be like in a few weeks or months from now when we get through all this stuff. And I think it's going to be a little bit like, remember the first day of school? When it was like, what'd you do on your summer vacation? I think a lot of us will be like, what did you do while you were kind of quarantined at home or self-isolating or social distancing, or what did you do with your time? I suspect people are going to fall into one of two camps. The first camp is going to be, I watched everything on Netflix. I binged watched everything. I kind of couch potato my way through this. Fine, there's probably some time for that for all of us a little bit, kind of work on our jammies for a day. But I think the other part of this is we'll look for some blessings from all what's happening here. You know, we all live very busy lives. We're all running so fast all the time. There's probably some opportunity here for us to take a bit of a breather and focus on just slowing down a little bit and maybe attending to some tasks and some chores that we never really get a chance to do, like clean up the garage, go through and get rid of some old clothes and things you don't need, go organize that photo album that's been sitting in the basement. We're going to give you some chores too. One thing we always ask people to do, and I'm going to ask you to do it now, is go get a file folder, open up a spreadsheet, and start recording all the data that you've got that no one else kind of knows. Like, what are the accounts and the passwords and all that kind of stuff? And Andrew and Vicky have got some checklists and some worksheets that we'll send to you if you want to help you go through that chore. That's the kind of thing that everybody knows they should do, but everybody gets around to doing it. So maybe instead of turning on that Netflix show, just, you know, grab a file folder, open up a spreadsheet file, and then maybe just start writing it all down and recording it. And do that, take an hour, half an hour, something like that, just to put all that stuff in one place, and then it's done, right? And then it's done. So it's a good chance, I think, for most of us to spend the next, as I say, weeks or however long this is going to take, to just kind of maybe become better people a little bit, right? Because as I say, I think you're going to talk to folks, and some people watched Netflix all day. Other people learned to play the piano or play the guitar or did something to make their lives a bit better. I think it's also important we reach out to people that maybe we haven't talked to for a while. You know, FaceTime, WebEx, all those kinds of things are pretty cool to reconnect with friends and just make sure everybody's doing okay. You know, I think if we all looked out for each other a little bit better, we're all going to be better off as a result of this stuff. So anyway, hope you like these little YouTube videos. I'll keep shooting them because I think it's a good way for me to walk with Charlie and just talk to you a little bit. So we're working hard. The team's fine. This is obviously unprecedented for everybody in terms of what's happening, but we'll all get through it. We'll get through it, okay? If you need anything, always give us a call. Thanks very much. Hey, Charlie, what's this? Come on, Charlie.